Yo, what's going on? Wrap Up Podcast Quarantine Edition. We episode 38. How you?
38. I'm good, man. How about yourself, man?
I can't complain, bro. More of the same, stuck in the house. The kids got me in the bedroom this time, as you can see. But yeah,
I've been seeing y'all little home videos with y'all catching up.
I know, right? Catching up on TikToks, you know what I'm saying? All the latest dance moves and whatnot. Whoa.
Yeah, I see. I saw you wasn't in the last one. You said I'll let y'all have this one.
No. Yeah. The last one, I'm gonna let them handle that one. They a little bit better at that than me. So yeah. I love it though, man. It's fun. So we be
So
chilling.
my man's Justice, he wasn't looking to begrudge it at this one, so he was
He
good.
was happy. He was happy. Usually,
Shout
he
out
got
to
the
Justice, man.
yeah. He was happy today. He was like, yeah, I want to be in the video. Let's dance. I was like, all right, go for it.
Word. Well, that's cool, man. That's cool. So like you mentioned, the Wrap Up Podcast, episode 38. I'm Stephen. To the left of me is my boy, who?
Fresh.
Fresh. And what's that you wearing, man? What's that you trying to show us?
Oh, new merch alert, baby. Let me pan the camera down a little bit.
Go ahead, man.
Coming soon. Yeah, man. I'm excited.
Who's that from, man?
Huh?
Who's that from?
This the Dropout beer.
Yeah, but who's it from?
Oh, Casso.
There you go.
Yeah, this is all me, baby. This is all me. So, just a sneak preview. I definitely got this shirt coming. I'll show you some details later on. But yeah, man.
I got mine for the FREE.
Hey, you feel me? Yeah, man. But that's what I've been doing. That's how my quarantine been going. I'm working.
Yeah, I hear that, man.
Trying to make this stuff happen. Connecting the dots.
That's all you can do, man.
Yeah, man. But speaking of quarantine, we've been struggling a little bit because we ain't really have much news popping off. But as we was discussing some things today, we was talking about quarantining during relationships or not a relationship at all. How does that affect being in a relationship, getting to know somebody and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So from my perspective anyway, I'm quarantining with my fiance. So let's say that things have changed. Things have changed. We found a way to make it, as fun as possible, as fun as quarantine can be. I mean, you stuck in the house in the confinement of these four walls, and you try to make the best of it. One thing's for sure is, man, you just feel like you right on top of each other, like all the time. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, what the difference for us is now that we are business owners, we bouncing like hella ideas off of each other.
Which is dope.
Yeah, that's the dope part. That's the part that makes it a little easier for us. You gonna fight. You definitely you gonna fight. No matter what it is, just because it's like, man, I'm sick of you. I'm tired of you.
Yeah.
I gotta get you every day. I wake up and roll over and you right here, and I go to sleep and I go in the bathroom and you right there. It's like, why are you following me?
Yeah. Go home.
Right. It's like, you ain't gotta go to work. Ain't you essential?
For real.
Ain't you an essential worker? Why are you here? But man, it's been actually pretty cool, man. It ain't half bad. But just being with each other all the time, anything ain't necessarily always a great thing, right? So you find yourself needing a breather or needing to get away or just wanting to spend more time with yourself.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely fine. To me, that's normal. That's natural. Sometimes you just want your own little bit of space. So quarantine has its way of robbing you of that. But for the most part, man, it's dope because again, you get to bounce ideas off of each other. You start having more intimate conversations and being able to just really get a better grasp of being able to communicate with each other. Or at least that's the way it's worked for me. I've heard some other horror stories of other couples going at it and ready to, wring each other's necks. So I guess it could be different based upon, what you're doing, what you're going through, what kind of phase were you in prior to quarantine coming along.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing. That's a huge factor. It's like, how was your relationship prior to quarantine? Was stuff rocky? Was things going great? Did maybe your relationship lost its fire? Maybe it was on fire and everything was going great and y'all is like in the happiest lovey-dovey stage possible. I think that has a lot with it. And then regardless, quarantine is going to teach you some stuff about yourself and your significant other.
I agree.
I think it's going to teach you some stuff about yourself and who you with, because you don't have anywhere to run.
That's true. Especially if
you ain't got nowhere to run. I mean, it's like if you got problems, you got to face it. You got to talk it out. It ain't no place to just, sweep stuff under the rug, because you right there. It's going to be, it's just going to, is y'all. Is you, the rug and your significant other. So it ain't no point just sweeping it. But I think it's interesting how it can change the dynamic of a relationship, because you're really thinking about it like, man, you really have to have a good semblance or basis of communication, because if you don't, you definitely gonna go crazy. I mean, you have nowhere else to go. Is people dying outside?
You're right. You're absolutely correct, man.
You can't just go run outside. You can't run to the bar and just say, man, let me go and just go just leave for a minute. Ain't no venting. What you gonna go in? You better go in the living room and she goes upstairs or vice versa. You don't have nowhere to go. So quarantine teaches you a little bit about yourself for sure.
And I can see that, but I'm coming from the verse side of things, from the dating world.
Talk about it.
So for me, it's I don't want to say the cliche, it is what it is, but it is what it is, because you're not I'm trying to find the word I want to use here. You're not subjected to having to quote unquote be around someone 24/7. And the communication,
I dig it.
And the communication can get shoddy. One thing that I've found out about myself during this quick, 1 month and a half period, I'm not a phone talker by nature, by trade. Yeah. I've become a phone person now. I'm calling like, yo, what's good? I'm texting, yo, what's good? The kid is even on FaceTime, and I don't really do the FaceTime.
Oh, you on the FaceTime?
So, you try to keep avenues open as best as you can, but being single or dating in this world we're in right now, the thing that's kind of odd is still kind of that tick for tack that you didn't just check up on me to see how I'm doing, so I'm not going to call you till you call me. It's not that communication, if you will, that hey, I thought about you today, what's going on? But if you were with each other and talking and all that jazz, you'll be in continuous conversation. I call it the out of sight, out of mind in the dating world, meaning if you're not calling or constantly on the bumper, you know what I'm saying, it can easily be a, let me see what she up to, or let me see what he's up to, when you haven't had that communication in a while. So I understand what you're saying is pretty much the same, but the only thing that's different is the major part is that if you're abiding by the rules of the land correctly, meaning quarantining yourself and keeping your social distancing, you're not going to see one another other than the devices that we have now. Which
some
can be hard
folks
for
might
some
be
folks.
risking it though.
I'm not risking
I was about to say, how so? I feel you, but I'm just saying, like, let me play devil's advocate here.
Let me love you from afar, baby.
It all. With the mask and gloves, they said, look, I gotta go see Bay. I'm gonna put these gloves on. I'm gonna mask up.
Hey.
I know without a shadow of a doubt, there's people out here who doing it. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. they get that a big head DM. You already know how it's going down. DM sliding like, hey, big head, what you doing?
You send me that. My reply, why you still up? What you doing still up?
Yo. Hey, I'm telling you, the toxicity is at an all-time high. It's gotta be. People ain't got nothing but time on their hands right now.
But
and no,
it will let you know. No, you can go.
Go ahead.
This will let you know, especially in the dating realm, if that person is really feeling you, y'all gonna be good coming out of this. Especially if your communication is on point. That individual may be the one because the contact is maintained and you're pretty much being each other's, shoulder to lean on. Both of you can do whatever because the parameters of the relationship isn't truly a relationship. It's dating or I talk or kick it with this individual.
Yeah.
So then you'll see how you come out afterwards.
I get it. That's a huge point. And the thing is no matter what your background was prior to quarantining, meaning like you're an introvert, you like staying in the house, or maybe you're an extrovert and you all about outside. And right now you're probably going crazy. But you want that communication, you want that connection with somebody.
Yeah.
It ain't even got to be a significant other, but you want to be able to talk, you want to be able to vent, you want to be able to be heard.
Human nature.
So you want attention, you want somebody, you want somebody to know how you feeling, what you thinking, what you doing, what you going through, and I think that's a natural human want. That's a natural selfish reaction that we all have, no matter if you're in a relationship or not.
And you gotta have it from the opposite sex.
Yeah, exactly. Because that that fear, that want, and that attention, that need is a mutual feeling. So that's something that you still in the back of your mind you yearn for, whether people want it or not. That's something that you want. That's why the communication is so important. So if you are quarantined and you're not with your significant other, I can guarantee you, if you're not talking to them, somebody is.
That's how I go.
If you're not talking to them, somebody else is. I'm not saying that they're cheating. I'm not saying that they, in a relationship with somebody else or whatever, what have you. But I'm letting you know this is, if you and your girl or you and your guy, even if y'all just in a talking phase or whatever, and somebody mad at whoever, or you go a day or two without talking to them, they still talking to somebody else.
Yeah.
They in the house. It's nothing else to do. You want some type of communication from somebody. Be able to bounce things off of each other. Even if it's just, hey, what you doing?
Yeah.
Nothing. What you today? What you watching on TV? I ain't got nothing to watch. What you binge watching on Netflix?
Yeah.
Your conversations can be extremely pointless or meaningless. You might not do nothing but
just hold the phone.
Yeah. For real. It's like most folks got their phone glued to their hand right now. You on Facebook, you looking at GIFs and TikToks and movies and Lori Lightfoot memes. You just want somebody to share it with.
Yeah.
You want somebody to share it with at this point, So it's even if it's something as simple as look at this funny story that I just saw, or look at this article, or look at this meme that I just share that and have that connection, or have that you want to have that moment with someone, because we are being robbed of our socialism right now. We are literally practicing what they deem as social distancing. Absolutely. So you're being you feel like, since someone is literally telling you not to be social, you have to find a way to compensate how you were being social before. So if you're used to going out and about, I'm in a bar, I'm in a club, I'm going out to events or what have you, then, and somebody tells you all of that's over with, you have to find a way to be social. Or let's say you're on the opposite side of that. You're an introvert and you never were outside or anything like that. Now it's just a bunch of people outside. But people who know you says, hey, I'm struggling right now. How do you being inside. So they still gonna hit you up. No matter what it is, somebody's looking for some type of communication or some type of we need to find a way to get through this situation together. Nobody can do this on their own.
Not at all. Not at all.
If it's somebody out there who's doing it on their own, I don't know how. I have no clue how they doing it.
And you know me, I'm the homebody of all homebodies, man.
Yeah.
For real. But there are occasions where I do go out, I do check events. And dude, this last 2 weeks, boy, it's been killing me. And I'm fine with staying at home.
It's rough.
It's hard.
It's rough. And it wouldn't be so bad if we had sports, bro.
You're right.
If we had sports, I'd probably be okay. I mean, because I don't go, but you know, I go and I do whatever. Might hit a bar, or go somewhere with you know, a couple of homies or my cousins or whatever. You know, from time to time I do that. I ain't out here club hopping, but you take that away and you take sports, and it's like, yo, there's only so much 2K I could play.
Yeah,
it's only so many movies. It's like, man, as you literally will run out of things to do. So that's when your significant other or someone who you are interested in, it ain't even necessarily got to be that you with somebody, but maybe it's somebody you're interested in. Maybe it's somebody who you always thought about maybe wanting to be with. Quarantine got people shooting shots. Quarantine definitely got people shooting shots.
Yeah, buddy.
Never would have thought to shoot before. Everybody want to be Kobe. Everybody want to be Steph. And they pulling up from the logo, like 45 feet out. Hey, I'm just going to send it.
What do you have to lose?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You ain't got nothing to lose, bro.
We know you at home, so like, you ain't
nothing to lose. Nothing. You see somebody
nothing to lose at all.
See somebody friend in the picture. Hey, your friend cute, yo. But
right, you know what I'm saying?
Go ahead and let me see what's good with her.
And you know what? The first thing she gonna do, she gonna text a girl. Girl, guess who just texted me? Guess who just slid up in my DM?
For real. The one
they gonna do? They ain't got nothing else to do.
The one you've been waiting for.
Right, and then she ain't gonna do nothing but text. She gonna DM you back like, I was just thinking about you.
Yeah, think about me.
Then you gonna be like, yes, the kid is in.
For real, man. But for real, for relationships and non-relationships alike, man, it's hard on everybody. Everybody handles it differently, man. You just gotta keep it moving.
I'm telling you, I can almost ton of that. As we like to say, Negrodamus with this one. I know this is going on. It's only for natural human beings. That's what's going on with this one.
You see, I'm just laughing. You highlight my day.
I know you got about 30 or 40 hey big head DMs at 2 a.m. What you? How you been? Ooh, I was just thinking about you. You ain't fooling me, bruh. You ain't got to say it. I'm gonna take you out the spotlight. I'm gonna take you out the spotlight.
I heard you. I listened to your last podcast. You did what? You know that
podcast
right
blowing
there.
up. The podcast blowing up. Fam, they can't wait for episode 38.
For real, man.
Now, look. Hey, this is what you're gonna have to deal with next. They're gonna be like, you told Aaron about me? Because how y'all talking about That's what's gonna happen next. Why?
Hey,
you gonna get it.
Be sure to follow and subscribe on all social media at The Wrap Up Pod. Send your inquiries too. You know what I mean?
It's getting a little hot over there, ain't it?
For real, man. For real, but we all gonna make it through, man. We got to.
Yeah, man, we ain't got no choice. We'll survive this, and these are just our natural human defense mechanisms kicking in. Don't nobody want to go through this alone. So it's only natural that you reach out for some type of human compassion, some human attention, just a human connection. No matter what it is, everything ain't necessarily got to be about being in a relationship. You may be reaching out to one of your homies more, or not necessarily another guy, but it could be a girl or whoever, just to say, hey, this is what I've been thinking about. This is some of the stuff that I've been going through or what's going on in my life.
Yeah.
People want to be heard. People want to be attended to. And the fact that quarantine us kind of apart, it's going to be natural that it's going to be more people taking shots and sliding in them DMs.
Hey, man. Blood out.
It's like that. Oh, man. But on another note, we talked about it a little bit on the last one. We got our next Verzuz battle coming up.
I think it's on that one.
You did.
I
You
did.
called it down to the people.
Yep.
Which was Teddy Riley and Babyface. The acumen, as you like to say. The acumen.
Even the RZA and Primo.
You called it. You didn't call the last two, man. I think you might have Timbo on speed dialer.
Hey, man.
It's like you 2 for 2 like that. That's crazy. You definitely called it though. But I think we both said we got Teddy winning, right?
Yeah.
We both got Teddy winning. But and we'll see. I think it'll be dope regardless, but I think we both got Teddy winning. But it also brought up I ain't gonna say a debate, but definitely a conversation of top 5 favorite producers.
Okay.
I'm still having trouble rounding out my 5.
Me as well.
Because as soon as you close that 5 off, you be like, oh, but I left off so-and-so.
Yeah.
And it's really, really tough. It's really, really tough. So I want to say, who are your people who you absolutely have to have in your 5? Give me 3 that you absolutely have to have in your 5.
3 I gotta have. I gotta have RZA. I gotta have, and this changed after that battle. I didn't know my man Primo had that much heat. I knew he had heat, but I didn't. His Primo doesn't stay on top of the radar as some of the Neptunes and all those guys. So RZA,
when it's played in front of you, it's crazy.
So Primo, RZA, and if I was to say my last one, Kanye is a given, but I'll go outside that realm and probably say 9th Adela.
That's big.
And it was heavy because Blaze in there too. So,
hey, you know that's my number 1. You know Blaze. I have an affinity for Blaze, so Blaze is got to be on my list. Kanye is on my list. If you can't tell, Kanye is definitely on the list. And 9th, Kanye, 9th, and Just Blaze will be on my 3. Now, to round out the other 2 is extremely tough.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying that this is any order, but you got to think about people who we haven't named. We haven't named Pharrell. We haven't named Swiss Beats.
Dre.
We haven't named Dre. We haven't named who else? I'm trying to think.
Manny Fresh, Beats by the Pound.
Manny Fresh.
No ID.
Yeah. No ID. That's another big one.
Heat
like
makers.
You're going to leave off somebody very, very dope.
Yeah.
How? How do you round out this top 5?
Well, you
I got
go.
a gun next 2.
You said what?
I got a gun to your head. Give me your next 2. Like you forced to make a decision. Who your next 2?
All right,
you got Preem, RZA, and
9th.
Dilla.
All right.
Oh, and 9th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll Kanye.
Okay.
Kanye, and if I had to pick another, wow, that's
exactly.
If I had to pick another, it'll probably be between Swiss. Nope, I'll take that back. Kanye and Blaze.
Kanye and Blaze.
Yeah.
So you leave Dilla off your 5. I had to do it to you before you did it to me. I'm sorry I set you up.
All right, wait. RZA, Primo, 9th. So see, the way I'm working is I can kind of get some of what Dilla got with Ninth. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I can kind of get some of that with Ninth. But then I can get what Kanye giving me with Ninth
With
and
Blaze
Just.
and Ninth. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. RZA, this is final. This final. RZA,
Okay.
Ninth, Dilla and Blaze.
Dilla and Blaze. So you leaving off Dre, you leaving off Pharrell, you leaving off Swiss Beats.
Pete Rock.
Pete Rock. No idea.
Alchemist.
Oh. Ugh. You leaving off some killers. I feel you though. That's what I'm saying. Like anybody who says that they can do this without cringing or erasing and bringing up somebody else's name, it's rounding out your top 5 producers is hard, bro.
That's hard. Who you got?
So I mean, I've struggled a lot. So give me Just Blaze, Kanye, Ninth, Swiss Beats. It's hard for me to leave off Swiss because how much he did for DMX and how much joints that he and I'm wow, Dilla.
Okay, that's not bad. You can't fault that.
That's gonna be my 5 for April 15th.
Subject to change.
Subject to change for sure. So I'm going Dilla, Swiss, Ninth, Just Blaze, and Kanye.
Okay.
In some kind of, don't even get me trying to rank them 1 through 5.
Yeah,
that's too much.
We're not gonna do that. So now that you
round out,
now that you got your 5, what was the criteria for that 5?
Good. That's a really good question. It had a lot to do with the music that I fell in love with the most and the albums that they took me through. So I've always been a huge Jay-Z fan. Always been a huge DMX fan. Always been a huge Kanye fan. So that Rockefeller feel was big for me.
Yeah.
So that's why I like Heatmaker so much, because of what they did for Cam and Dipset and all them cats. But I was huge in the Rough Riders. So almost everything you heard was Swiss. So it's hard for me to leave Swiss off. With how much obviously that he did for all of his own albums, but then the stuff that he did for Hove, the stuff that he did for the rest of the Rockefeller team, the joints that he did for like Beanie Siegel and all of them, it's crazy. It's hard for me to leave them off. Ninth, the stuff that he did for Rhapsody, the stuff he did for Jay-Z and the Jam Lock crew, and the joint that he did for Big Crit is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, it's my criteria is really based a lot around the artists who they produced for, and how I digested their albums. So that was big for me. And then, I mean, but as I'm talking this, I'm saying like, I'm such a huge Nas fan. How the hell I leave Primo? You know, but it's hard. It's hard. It's really hard, dog. It's hella difficult.
For me, it was more of what, like you mentioned prior, what cultivated your ear, what drew you to the genre, what drew you to particular artists, what drew you to particular record labels or factions, I should say, or anything like that. But for me, it's more based upon what I would say I consider the authenticity of the sound. Like when you say certain names in hip hop, you know the sound. When you say Preem, you know the sound. When you say RZA, you know the sound. When you say Dilla, Ninth, Blaze, you know the sound. Not to say those that I didn't pick, Swiss has a sound, Dre has a sound.
Yeah.
Neptunes has a sound. They all have a sound, but to me, in terms of the purity of hip hop, I would have to go with those 5 MCs. Kanye was a hard one not to take. Not to put on the list, and I love Kanye. It was hard,
Yeah.
but in terms of sonically, what I would like my album if I was making one to sound like, it would be that violin driven, that 90s mafioso kind of vibe, that hell on earth, kind of vibe, that 36 chamber moment of truth, that
I feel you. Do you want that gritty? You
know
want that? I feel you. I know what you like. I know what you want. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That Chitlin Circus vibe. That.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, it's still a little distorted. It's crackling in the background. It's spinning real records live. Yeah, I feel you. And that's another reason that makes hip hop so dope, is because it's so much diversity. It's so many different facets, so many different lanes that people have, and it can take you anywhere. I mean, hip hop and its artists and its producers literally can take you through moments back in time. You know what I'm saying? It helps you remember high school. It helps you remember, your first date, or the first song you played when you got your driver's license. That's the kind of feel it give you. You know, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, it's going to always be a part of the way in which we express ourselves, which makes it even harder to pick a 5. Yeah. So I know, we kind of pressure ourselves to get through that, but that's the reason why it's so special. And that's the reason why it means a lot, at least to us. Mm-hmm. Maybe not that much to everybody, but at least I know for me and you, it means that much, because the way in which we digest music, it means a lot more because of the time that we invest in it. Mm-hmm. It's like if you sit back and really think about how much you listen to music, how much you digest music, and then not even just listen, but then you analyze it. Because the perfect line is, do you just listen to music or do you skim through it? Yeah. That line hits, because when you hear a dope album, what's the first thing you do?
Me personally? I found out who the producer was.
There you go. Some people will listen to music and then they just be like, oh, that's dope, and go on without their day. Yeah. Me, I want to look at the liner notes.
That's how I miss liner notes, bro.
I'm going to go tell my homies. I'm going to be, how we bounce music. I'm like, yo, did you hear such and such? Did you see this EP? Did you see that new album or whatever? When you really live the music, when it means something, you can't just listen to it, put it down. Because as soon as the music starts to move you, it means so much that you got to share it with somebody. That's how you know that you just heard something special, or it moved you to some type of emotion. Or if you hear an album and all of a sudden it's like, I got to go hear this, I got to go play this in the car. Yeah. How many times have you done that in your life, bro? It's like, oh, you listening to it just like on your phone, or you got it playing or whatever. You're like, oh no, I got to listen to this in the car. I got to go.
Wesley said it best. Wesley and White Man Can't Jump. Remember when they driving in the car and he put the Jimi Hendrix in, and he said, but you can't hear Jimmy. He said, I'm listening to Jimmy. He's like, no, but you can't hear Jimmy. That's how we are. About. You have to hear this music. It's different meanings for different things in different realms. But with music, to hear it means you kind of know what's going on. You know the avenue, the vein that the artist was in. You know the cinema scope that the production is based in. You can hear the sonics. You can hear the sound. You can hear the record scratch. You can hear what an 808 drop, what a snare hit.
It's creating a movie,
stuff, man. You can hear it all.
And that's when it becomes special. And that's when you start to connect with the artists and connect with the producers. And that's when you start to build an affinity for that specific person. Absolutely. So then, even if they start, wilding, you make a pass for him, Kanye West.
I was talking
because no matter what he did, it's like, yo, you took me through high school. You gave me some of the greatest moments in hip hop history that it's like, okay, yeah, you supporting Trump, but I forgive you because your pros outweigh your cons, so it's okay.
And it's crazy you said that. I was speaking with somebody yesterday, and they asked me what was my favorite MC. So I was like, Mos Def is my favorite MC of all time. Everybody, Big, LL, whoever you want to put, Mos Def is my favorite. They was like, why is Mos Def your favorite? I said, even if something that he would drop was bad, I would still listen to it and find something in it that I like. Common is another cat. I couldn't stand Electric Circus until I got older.
Terrible album.
And listened to it again. I was like, okay, I can see what he was doing on this album. You know,
right?
So
it
like,
don't make it good, but it is like, I feel you get a pass.
You get a pass on it. So you know what I'm saying? It kind of gives you more of, I see what this artist was trying here because you've invested in them. Even with a producer that make a whack beat, you know the catalog that, okay, they tried something here, it didn't really work, but it was still dope because he kind of tried to take us somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like
you build up
and RZA. I couldn't stand it when it came out.
I thought it was dope.
He played it during the battle.
I thought it was straight.
That's a dope track.
Check out my gravel pit.
Yeah.
It was dope. I thought it was fresh. I thought it was cold. So when it came on during the battle, I'm like, I remember this joint. I remember this joint in Park. So it was dope, man. So I'm with you. I'm with you on that. They take you through moments in time that can never be erased.
Absolutely.
So when you hear even just a piece of a song, it don't even have to be a whole song. You can hear a snippet, and it'll take you back to 2006. It'll take you back to 1992, and like, man, I still remember where I was when I first heard this. I remember
what I had on.
It made me feel. Yeah, it starts to. You build a bias for that specific artist or that specific producer, and it's like no matter what they do, they can always bounce back from this because they made such and such.
Absolutely.
So it's like Jay-Z made Kingdom Come. All right, we get it, but he also made Blueprint. He also made Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah.
He also made, whatever you want to go to. It's like, so it's like even if he dropped if he dropped 4 or 5 more whack albums, I'm still gonna listen to the 7th one. This is Jay-Z. It's Jay-Z.
You're right.
It's like, yo. So and once they build up that criteria for you, where it's like, man, it moves into this untouchable type of sphere or bubble, and makes you be like, no matter what, I could always go back to his classics, and he's untouchable. So I don't care what he does next. He always gonna be good in my book. And
that's how it should be,
man. That's the beauty of hip hop.
Yep.
That's the beauty of hip hop, man. So I love it. I love it. It's, and even still, as we've discussed our 5, I'm still thinking like, man, go back and change it.
You can't change it because we got 30 seconds left, baby.
Yeah, so I mean, I can't. I know we can't, but I want to go back and change it. I'm gonna leave my 5, at least for the 15th. April 15th, 5 might change tomorrow.
Okay. But that's all we got today, man. They about to shut us down, man.
Yo, it's a wrap for episode 38. Make sure you check us out everywhere at the Wrap Up Pod. And man, stay in tune. We still quarantined. We'll see you for episode 39.
That's right. Casso, y'all. Casso Kicks.
Peace. Casso Kicks. Merch on the way, baby.
All right, bro.
Peace.